In the heart of the vibrant African city of Dambola, a man named Chief Mokon stood as a pillar of light. Born into wealth, he did not hoard it but used it as a tool of kindness. He built homes for the poor, gave work to the jobless, and paid school fees for children who want his. Everyone in the city, from beggars to nobles, knew him as a man with a heart as big as the savannah sky. Chief Mokon lived in a sprawling estate surrounded by his loyal staff, many of whom he had rescued from poverty. Among them was a young woman named Amina, a diligent maid who had been with him for 5 years. Quiet and graceful, Amina watched and admired her master's generosity. Though she came from nothing, she felt a deep purpose working in Chief Mokon's home. She was serving a man who served others. One sunny morning, Chief Mokon collapsed in the garden. His staff rushed him to the city hospital, and the diagnosis was grim. The doctors found that he had a rare, fast-growing illness, and they quietly told him he had only a few months to live. The news spread like wildfire, and the entire city mourned. Chief Mokon was not afraid of death, but he was deeply worried about what would happen to his estate and legacy. With no wife or children of his own, he feared that his wealth would fall into corrupt hands or be misused. Lying weak on his bed, he called Amina and whispered a strange request: "Marry me, Amina. Bear me a child. Let my legacy live on through you." Amina was stunned. She had never thought of marriage, let alone marrying the man she served. But as she looked into Chief Mokon's frail eyes, filled with sorrow and fear, her heart softened. She nodded slowly and agreed, not for the wealth or status, but because she believed in the man and the life he had lived. The wedding was quiet and simple, attended only by close friends and workers who cheered through their tears. Amina became Madam Mokon, and immediately, she began caring for him like never before, not just as a maid or a wife, but as someone desperately fighting to keep him alive. One night, Amina had a dream of her grandmother, a healer from her village, standing by a stream and whispering the names of herbs. She woke up sweating and took it as a sign. Without telling anyone, she traveled back to her remote village in the hills. There, she met with the old herbalist, who confirmed her dream with a nod. Amina returned with bundles of herbs, roots, and a sacred healing mixture. She prepared the concoctions with precision, following ancient instructions. Every day, she gave Chief Mokon the bitter drink and massaged his body with warm herbal oils. Hope began to flicker in the household as the man who once couldn't sit up was now walking with support. Weeks passed, and Chief Mokon's strength returned, slowly but surely. The doctors were baffled, calling it a miracle. But Amina and the old herbalist knew better. It was the ancient knowledge of the earth that had healed him, combined with Amina's unwavering faith. Chief Mokon shed tears when he stood unaided for the first time since his illness began. He embraced Amina, now carrying his child, and whispered, "You didn't just give me life, you gave me a future." Word spread across the city that the chief had survived. Crowds gathered outside his gate to rejoice and give thanks. Chief Mokon resumed his charity work, but with a deeper understanding of life and humility. He built a herbal clinic in Amina's village, honoring the traditions that had saved him. He also began organizing free health outreach programs in Dambola, inspired by the suffering he had faced. Amina stood by his side, now visibly pregnant, loved by the people and respected by the elders. Her name was sung in songs by the market women, who marveled at how a maid had saved the king. But neither she nor Chief Mokon saw it as luck. They believed destiny had chosen her for this purpose. Not everyone was happy about Chief Mokon's recovery. Some greedy relatives who had hoped to inherit his fortune began plotting. They spread rumors about Amina, accusing her of witchcraft, and even attempted to bribe the herbalist to lie against her. But Chief Mokon publicly defended his wife, inviting the herbalist to tell the true story on national radio. The city rallied behind Amina, and the conspirators were shamed and forced to leave town. Justice, it seemed, was firmly on the side of truth and love. In the early hours of a cool morning, Amina gave birth to a healthy baby boy. Chief Moken named him Obioma, meaning good heart, in honor of the kindness that had surrounded his life. The birth was celebrated across Dambola with drumming, dancing, and feasting. Chief Moken wept with joy as he held his son, knowing that his legacy would live not just through wealth or buildings, but through love, healing, and sacrifice. He kissed Amina's forehead and said, "You are the root of this tree." Years passed, and Chief Moken's home turned into a center of learning and healing. He and Amina opened a school that taught both modern and traditional medicine. They invited herbalists and doctors to work together, blending the old with the new. Obioma grew up surrounded by wisdom and compassion. His parents taught him the value of service and humility. And as he grew, so did the influence of their mission, spreading across villages and cities, inspiring others to believe in miracles, love, and unity. In the final chapter of their tale, Chief Moken sat under the baobab tree with his wife and grown son. He spoke to a gathering crowd, sharing the full story of his fall and rise. "It was not just the herb that healed me," he said. "It was mercy, the kind shown by a loyal maid, the earth, and the ancestors." The people of Dambola declared that day the Day of Mercy, a yearly celebration of kindness, healing, and community. And though Chief Moken would one day pass on, he left behind a living legacy, proof that love, when rooted in sacrifice, can bring the dead back to life.